G'day folks, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we are kind of doing like a part 2 to the KBD bodykit series. First video, which you can check out, was like fitting it, drilling all the holes, prepping it and getting it ready for painting. This video was kind of like putting it all together, all the finishing touches, getting it painted and getting it on the car and giving you like a final look at how that's going to look like. There's a couple of other things I want to show in this video too, so if you're here just to see what it looks like in the final product, I'll leave like a timestamp where you can just jump straight to that. Otherwise, some of the other things that I need to do before the kit goes on, other than getting it painted of course, is some of the lights. So I'll drop a quick picture in of how the lights used to look and you'll be able to see how hazy they were and just sun faded and terrible. So what I did, which I didn't film because there's like 100 videos on it, was I bought a 3M like wet sanding kit and wet sanded them and then polished them with some Maguire's Plastex polish. And you can see just showing some of them here. They've come out way better than what they were. So at the start of this video, I'm going to be spraying them with the clear coat, hence why I've got everything kind of masked up. I still haven't protected or wrapped them yet with masking tape. I probably won't show the whole process in detail of clear coating, because again, there's like hundreds of videos on YouTube on how to do that, so you can check those out if you really want to see them. It's just giving you a bit of an idea of the process. Another thing that we have to do as well, which will be in this video, is these are new fog lights. So the 91 model, my model, had turning lights, not the fog lights. So I don't actually have the wiring or the plugs for those ones. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be doing, wiring it up and putting a switch inside the car, because you're not allowed to have your fog lights on with your high beams or your low beams, as in like not on the same switch. And you're only allowed to have them on if it's actually foggy, like by law. So that's why it needs its own switch. Other than that, yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so quick update. Mask them off. These were really tricky, and as you can see, it still hasn't really worked. I'm not sure why this tape just does not stick to this plastic. It is what it is. I'm not too concerned, considering these are going to be like set in and the bumper's going to come right along this edge. So this is mostly just to make sure it doesn't like spray back onto the wires and stuff. But yeah, all the others were okay. So I've just moved as well from there to here because it's a little bit windy, so I want to get out of the wind. So yeah, let's get to spraying. Okay, just finished up spray painting with the clear coat. To put it simply, was not a very good job. I don't know if it's just because I'm outside and it's windy and there might be dust particles that I can't see, but the finish has turned out really like orange peely. So not really sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'll have to wait for it to dry and then I guess wet sand it back smooth and see how we go from there. I do have a whole nother can though. This is unopened, so worst case scenario I can send it all the way back to plastic and then try again, but kind of annoying, but at least I got to learn how to, I guess, clear coat or how not to clear coat. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit for wiring up the fog lights. Okay, so it's on the weekend, we're back up here at the back. Today, or at least this weekend, what I'm planning on doing is a bit of wiring, hopefully finishing that up so that when the body kit arrives, everything can just go on and I can drive away. So as I mentioned before, It's got the new kit has new fog lights, which I'll need to wire up because the original model has the turning lights, which come on with the indicators. So what I have bought, like a wiring loom, comes with a switch, fuse and a relay, and battery connections and all of that stuff. $10. So cheap I wouldn't even bother trying to do it myself. I have to connect these to the plugs, and then they plug into the fog lights. And the fog lights, the LED bulbs have arrived, and I've got them in there as well. So yeah, hopefully that should be all good. First things first, I want to test that it all works. So I'm just going to connect it up to the battery, loosely connect it to these, and then hopefully turn the lights on. Okay, so what was meant to be a quick little test turned into about 4 hours because it didn't work and the relay was buzzing and not switching and holding. So I had to try and work out why that was, and then I thought it was because the wiring was wrong, because the wiring was wrong, it was back to front, which may be why it fried the relay, I'm not sure, but I ended up having to go down to Ringwood and buying another relay and then coming back and I've tested it. It's now all working. One small issue is the LEDs which I bought are so dim, like you can barely even see that they're on. So yeah, unfortunately I probably have to find some different ones, or maybe just stick with halogens, because I don't believe they make yellow LEDs bright enough. At least I haven't seen them. So now I'm just moving into the engine bay, kind of figuring out where it's going to go. I've already wired it back through the firewall to a good spot for the switch inside the car, which I can show you. So there's a little panel here, I've just poked it through. There's a little panel there as well, so I will drill a hole, see if I can sit that in there nicely, and then yeah, that should just sit in there, something like that. The engine bay side comes up through there. I'm going to have to route it back around there neatly, and then the relay is sitting here. At the moment I'll have to find a nice spot to try and put that. I don't know what's in here, maybe I can chuck it in here if there's a spot. And then battery terminals, and then the leads. So there's not going to be enough length to get from one side to the other, so I'm going to have to wire something in to like here to get it over to the other side. And I do have to figure out how I want to run it across here, because there will be water coming in here. So yeah, I've got to think about that too. Okay, so it's basically almost all done. Finished it up, got this end over here. There should be plenty of length to just reach down here. Then finish this end up here. Unfortunately, I didn't have any heat shrink that was able to go over the little, I don't know what you call them, spade plugs. So electrical tape will do, and then it's going to go in here like this. There's a bunch of extra cable here which I don't really need, so I'll have to do that. And then I just have to lengthen these ones to reach the battery terminals over here, and that's all good to go, and everything's ready to plug in.
And he even brought a light. Look at that. What a legend. Lights everywhere.
Hey Ben, guess what? This is going way better than expected. Literally, it just, we were all like just plop, and then just all came out.
Quick break from talking about what I'm doing to my car to talk about what Shahan's doing to his car.
Ooh, yeah, boy.
Don't know if I can get a good angle in here. Probably can't see much. But Shahan has some high flow cats.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, they're in there?
Yeah. They're not in yet. We're just taking
Yeah.
Bloody mate, get it out here.
Ooh.
Enough at least.
What is going on here?
Yeah, you know, the usual.
Oh fuck, you were so loud, you hit the you hit the max, you hit the red.
I need to try and fit this.
So explain what's going on here.
Well, we have one more bolt to get off there, which shouldn't be too bad, and then we just have two here. We got the top ones off with Rocco's smart thinking, and then we put on the new ones.
Oh, you're trying to get those?
Yes. I don't. It's just in a weird spot.
Really, man, have the geese have a gander?
Yeah. Yeah, I literally just lifted the car, and I was ready to start.
Oh yeah.
So,
Quick update.
quick update.
We have done.
Just got the last one in.
That's
Gotta put the last one on. Yes.
and got the last one to go. And then it should be pops and bangs and loudness.
Crackles. Lots
How
of,
many
lots
bolts
of
do you
giggling.
need there?
So we are all done. All bolted in, all bolted up. It's all good to go.
I'm getting throwbacks. Just gonna put the cat back on. Oh shit. Ready?
Here we
Moment of
go.
truth, boys.
It's louder.
I
Yeah,
can't tell from here.
it's definitely louder.
Really?
It's definitely louder, bro.
I can't tell. Oh shit.
Smell the petrol as well.
Yeah. That is the loud idle. Holy fuck. It's a bit cold still,
So now you're going to be shooting flames. But I've got a lot of cold.
So the next step for finishing up the wiring for all the lights, we come over here to the engine bay. So you can see these leads are not going to be long enough to reach the battery terminals. So basically I have to get some cable of similar thickness, hopefully, and cut it, splice it, and run it to there and solder that. And then the other thing I need to do to fit the new LED bulbs is, where is it? Over here. So the plug that goes into the low beam connector, I need to cut that off and solder this one on. So the original low beam bulbs are a 9005J. Nobody makes those anymore, or at least they're very, very hard to find. So I've bought the next closest thing, which is a 9005 or an HB3, but it's a slightly different plug. So yeah, just got to solder that on, and that should be it for the wiring. Okay, so finished with the battery leads, and now I'm going to move on to the low beam plugs. Okay, so that's like, it's all done, I guess. Gotta trim that a bit. I'll probably cable tie some of this up a little bit. But yeah, cables are all done, plugs are all done. It's a little annoying. I had to trim this little weather shield here, but it does mean leaves some exposed, but that's all right. So all the wiring for all the lights is done, which is really good. So I guess another Infinity Stone collected. Just waiting on the kit to be painted, which should be pretty soon. The painter told me that he started that yesterday, and then should be able to pick it up this weekend or next week, and then I should be fitting it next weekend, which would be really good. Another quick pit stop to this video. I am here with this boy.
Yo, what up?
Taking him to get his new wheels fitted. Get rid of these Bogan Bimmer spec wheels.
So rude about them, they're not that bad.
And get some worky boys on there. Sheesh. Can I get a quick teaser?
Get a quick peek. Oh!
Wow.
God damn.
Wow.
Oh, damn. This is my jam.
So we're going to load these in there, drive to the tyre shop, get the tyres fitted, chuck the old ones in here. Do you have some towels I can chuck down for the old wheels?
Yeah.
And then we'll have a sex spec chaser.
See you later, baby. Sex spec life is fading out for me.
Check these out. Fresh. That's some meat. Look at this difference. Sheesh. Shop's making my boy do the work.
Yeah, you gotta. Oops.
That fitment is hella flush. So we just got back to Mono's and get a good look at it in the light, and he's actually chosen the perfect fitment. Have a look at that. That's bang on. The front is out a little bit, but ten out of 10. He's a stance boy now. So another thing that I want to do with the fog lights, which I may have already talked about before in this video, or maybe even the last video, I don't know what's going to make the cut on the videos or not, but I really like the idea of yellow fog lights. I think originally it's actually from Europe, like it's a European regulation to have yellow fog lights or something like that. But I do think for some reason it really makes cars look a lot more GDM to have yellow fog lights. So I bought like a kind of like a yellow vinyl tint. So you can see here, so that I can wrap over the fog lights, and they will still look yellow during the day, which is cool because I'm pretty sure the LEDs aren't really going to do much at night time, mostly just for looks, for photos if I want to flick them on or whatnot. So that's what I'm going to do today. I also want to, the socket for the low beam is a 9005J, which is basically impossible to find globes for anymore. You could possibly find some original ones like halogen bulbs, but it would cost you a fortune to get them. So if you want to swap to LEDs, which I have, you've got to buy 9005 or HB3. So that's why you saw me soldering up the new plugs to fit the new HB3. But also you need to trim down the tabs on the actual bulb. But I've actually been thinking, rather than doing that and then having to do that every single time I buy new bulbs, I've actually thought about just getting the Dremel and grinding the socket in the actual low beam to fit HB3 bulbs, so that I don't have to do anything. It all works, plugs in, no worries. So I'll also be trying to do that today. And there's like a little plastic clip that goes kind of over the socket, and that's a little tight with these new bulbs, so I'm just going to file them a little bit to give a little bit better clearance, so it's easier to put the things in and out. Okay, so I literally just got a call from Mahan, which is Mono's dad. Apparently everyone calls him Sing, and he says that the kit is finished painting and that I'm all good to go and pick it up right now. So I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to head over to the shop and pick up the kit. He might be okay with me filming in the shop, I'm not sure, so we'll see. So just here at the shop. Fresh as. Just here in the booth. I don't know if I'm allowed to film the rest of the shop, but I can certainly film this, and it's come out really, really good. Big shout out to Mahan for coming in on a public holiday just to do this kit. He's literally here by himself just to do this for me, so massive thanks to him. I'm going to load this up into my car and Rocco's car, and then I'll get it home. Okay, so I'm back home, just picked up the kit. I've got it sitting here because Mahan was saying put it in the sun but not in direct sunlight, so I guess he just means like outside. So I've got it here sitting in the shade. The finish is pretty good. In fact, the finish is literally better than the car itself. So these panels are going to look way better than all the other panels, which kind of is funny. Another interesting thing that Mahan was saying is he looked up the paint code, which is 6M2, but apparently it's discontinued and like there's no information about it anymore or something like that. So he had to paint match basically by hand, but he did a really good job. I'll show you. I'll show you the little piece he had. So this is the panel that he took to match with, and that's the little card that he sprayed. So you can see it's pretty much bang on exact. So I was going to come back and wrap the fog lights and Dremel the low beams, but it's really hot and I'm kind of sweaty and I'm ready to have a beer and call it a day. So tomorrow, that's what I'll be doing for that, and I'll probably mock up at least the front bumper and get an idea of how I'm going to cut the splitters. I've got a few of the boys coming around on Sunday, and that's the big day when hopefully everything happens and it goes on the car. So yeah. Okay, so back to wrapping the fog lights. Not really sure how this is going to go. I don't really think this is very good vinyl. I was looking to get like a 3M one, but unfortunately they don't make like these kind of clear tinted vinyls. So I literally just had to buy a cheap one off eBay. No idea where it's from or who made it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I also have to have a look at how I cut it around the edge, because obviously you know, being subject to weather and washing and all of that, it might peel off if it's not done properly, so we'll see. This is all a bit of a trial really. I just want to see how it looks with the yellow tint, and if it doesn't really work out, then it's no real problem to take it off again. Nice. We are moving inside. Okay, so I kind of got on a bit of a roll there and just stopped filming, but a quick update on what I've done. So I finished wrapping the fog lights. Not a very good job, in fact a terrible job. I don't know if you'll be able to see some of the scratches and the bubbles in there. Terrible vinyl to work with. Basically as soon as the car is driving, I will book it in, try and find a vinyl shop somewhere and get it done properly, because I do actually like the colour. Like from a distance it actually looks pretty good. I also fitted the indicators, and I also fitted the mesh grille. So now I'm going to work on the headlights, modifying the sockets so that I can fit the HP3 bulbs, and that should pretty much see me through to the end of today. Perfect. Goes in and out, no worries. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully tomorrow all the boys will be around and the kit can go on. Front bumper, if you look here. So I got the number plate on. I sprayed that middle strip black of that chrome grille and put that in. So that front bumper is basically ready to just bolt straight onto the bumper now, which is really good. Unfortunately, ran into the problem with the Soarer. I was reversing it back down to park it up here on the flat and put it into drive, car stalled, and now it won't start. So I'm gonna have to chase down what the problem is. That sounds like a fuel issue, but when I checked the spark plugs, I could smell fuel. I could smell fuel coming from the cylinder. I can smell fuel in the tailpipe. So maybe the engine stalled and it's flooded. I'm not sure. Other than that, I'll have to check whether the sparks are actually getting power. Maybe it's a spark issue, I'm not so sure. Anyway, the boys will come around tomorrow and we'll push it up here. We can get the kit on. We don't need it to start for that. Just means it will sit up here until I can fix what's wrong with it. Okay, probably going to end the video there. I know I said I wanted to put like the start to finish all in this video, but when I got around to editing and I saw the footage that I filmed for when all the boys came over and we fitted the kit, there were just too many funny moments to not include them, and this video would have been like over an hour long. So I've decided to split it up into 2 more parts, so there'll be a part 1, part 2 and part 3. And you can see the kit's on there, a bit of a teaser. So thanks for watching this video. That's kind of the final prep work done, and hope you're looking forward to the next one, which should be coming soon.